news in the Tyne region with Amy Lee and Ian Payne.
Hello there, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
On tonight's programme, tragedy at one of our region's beaches as two men die trying to save children who had got into difficulty in the sea in Hartlepool.
Wildfire warning as a huge fire covering an area the size of 14 football pitches tears through fields in County Durham.
Recognising extraordinary acts of courage, the region's police officers awarded for their bravery in the line of duty.
And in sport, fans across the region celebrate as England reach the World Cup semi-finals. We'll have a full roundup for you later.
Two men have died after going into the sea to try to rescue two children at Seaton Carew.
Emergency services were called to the beach in Hartlepool yesterday afternoon after concerns were raised for a number of people in the sea. The children were confirmed to be safe. The RNLI brought the men back to shore and they were pronounced dead shortly afterwards.
Our reporter Amy Sutton has spent the day in Seaton Carew and joins us live from there now. Amy, what more can you tell us?
Well, the beach here has been more or less deserted throughout the day. We've seen a couple of people in the water, both adults and children, but spending the day here has just shown the sheer impact this has had, not only on locals, but visitors and businesses as well. Everyone we spoke to today was in shock with utter devastation at the loss of life here. Each a different sight compared to the day before, where tragedy unfolded in the waters at Seaton Carew. 2 lives saved, 2 lives lost. Police were called to the sands here at around 3:40 in the afternoon with assistance from Hartlepool, Redcar and Staithes Coast Guard rescue teams. Helicopters in the sky, 2 RNLI lifeboats in the sea. It's understood multiple people entered the water to assist 2 children in difficulty. Those children were brought safely to shore and transported to North Tees Hospital for treatment. 2 men were given urgent medical assistance by RNLI volunteers, but sadly were pronounced dead. One man who entered the water to help the effort before emergency services arrived was Davy Short.
I just wanted to get out there to help the little boy that was screaming to help, and I just told him to swim towards me, keep swimming towards us. I was swimming towards him. I managed to get to him and got him out.
Widely on social media, people have said that your actions were heroic. What do you think about that?
I'm no hero. I just did what any man would do, or any dad. And I would do it again today if I had to. Not a problem.
High tide was around 2:30 p.m, about an hour before the incident happened. The temperature reached 19 degrees. We're told this beach was full of people here enjoying the sunshine. It was a perfect summer's afternoon until emergency services were called. 2 witnesses who returned to the beach today to pay their respects told me that the conditions today matched those of yesterday. They were too upset to speak on camera, but told me that it was mayhem, chaos here on the beach. They hope that this tragedy can bring around change. This is Sue Little, an independent councillor for the Seaton Carew ward. She's called for a review of water safety along the coast.
Seaton Beach is one, it's a jewel. I think it's the best beach in the whole wide world. We've got beautiful golden sands. We attract so many visitors and residents who come here for a cheap day out. But the sea is dangerous. It's water. You can drown in an inch of water, and we don't want to have incidents like this at all. We just want people to come here and be safe.
Lifeguard provisions have been the same here since 2017, a seasonal service which is funded solely by the council. Signs here say flags show safe swimming areas. Those flags aren't put up until lifeguards are on duty from July 18th. However, Hartlepool Borough Council told us the incident yesterday fell outside the remit of the rescue area for lifeguards on duty. 2 children made it home from the beach yesterday, 2 men did not, in what's another tragedy on our northeast coastline. Well, there's still a lot of unanswered questions here tonight, like just how did this tragedy happen in a matter of minutes in that water? We expect more information from the relevant authorities over the coming days. The identities of the two men are yet to be released. We understand their families are being supported by specialist officers, but their sacrifice has been recognised by so many. Sunday's incident follows an event on Friday on this same beach where 3 swimmers got into difficulty in the water and required a rescue effort. Tonight, Hartlepool Borough Council has said it will launch a review into water safety here at Seaton Carew and right across this coastline. They've told us their thoughts remain with all involved.
Amy Sutton at Seaton Carew. Thank you, Amy.
Next tonight, firefighters are again warning of the risk of wildfires after tackling 3 across the region at the weekend.
The whole region remains in a wildfire risk zone. Customers were evacuated from a pub near Durham yesterday afternoon as flames spread across a neighbouring field. From there, Tom Barton reports.
2:20 yesterday afternoon and a field is ablaze. Firefighters are called and 4 fire engines are sent to the village of Shincliffe outside Durham. Within minutes though, flames are raging across the road from the Rose Tree pub.
Just looked out the window and there was a small fire. It was probably no bigger than sort of the size of a small car. Less than 5 minutes, and it was from the top end of the field right down to where we are now. So it was how quickly it did move, because you were just, oh, it's a little fire up there. You sort of calmly going around and saying, oh, you might need to evacuate, and then next thing you know, the pub itself, you're choking on smoke because the wind was blowing the smoke straight in, and it was scary, to be fair. It was the noise of the crackling, the height of the flames, and it was just, you could see panic in people's eyes.
From the sky, the scale of the damage to crops is clear to see, covering an area the size of 14 football pitches. Meanwhile, across the region, firefighters tackled at least 3 wildfires over the weekend, including this one in Acomb near York. The whole of our region's expected to be in a wildfire risk zone for at least the rest of this week. Something that's no surprise when you hear that there's been just 3.5 millimetres of rain in the whole of July so far. That's 1/7 of the amount you'd normally expect. The high risk making it important for the public to stay alert.
Take a picnic rather than a barbecue. Please don't sort of like set little fires, campfires as well. That is, although you think you've put them out, depending on what ground, they can be deep-seated and just lay there and sort of fester for a while. But yeah, don't discard cigarettes as well. Glass bottles, take your rubbish home with you.
An estimated £30,000 worth of barley lost. Firefighters unable to establish a cause, but fully expecting more across the region in the coming days and weeks. Tom Barton, ITV News in Shincliffe, County Durham.
Next tonight, a 10-year-old autistic boy from Marsk will have no school to go to in September due to a disagreement over which school he should attend.
Theo Hewitt's parents say they found a school that can support him with his special educational needs, but a different school has been recommended in his care plan. Theo's mum stresses that there's nothing wrong with that particular school, it just does not meet her son's particular needs.
Theo's parents say that now the only way they can overturn the decision is by going to court. Chris Jepson reports.
Theo is autistic, and for the last year he's been receiving temporary one-to-one support outside of a classroom setting from an autism charity because the mainstream school he attended could no longer meet his special educational needs.
He's thrived, to be honest. It's been the best thing that we ever did. He never managed in mainstream school, so to have a place where he was understood and supported has been fantastic for him, and it's just what we want to happen going forward.
His parents, along with Redcar and Cleveland Council, initially thought they'd found a school which would meet his needs next September, but Theo's mum Danielle says it didn't.
He went with his support worker to that setting. It became apparent to those professionals when he was met by the staff members that they didn't have any experience in that field. He spins a lot in order to make himself feel comfortable and safe, and he was told to stop doing that by the staff members and told he was going to get dizzy, which set off alarm bells. It's something that they should have recognised.
She says that school is now listed on Theo's education healthcare plan, so if he doesn't attend it, he'll have nowhere to go in September.
It's isolating because he's in effect been an entire school year without having that communication and interaction with other children. It's something that concerns me because as he's getting older, he's becoming more and more isolated from other children. I'm sure that it affects his mental and physical well-being.
Theo's parents say they found a school which would meet his needs, but the only way to overturn the recommendation in his care plan is to go to tribunal.
I don't think I can describe in words how frustrating it is. What seems to happen is the local authority and the schools try and make these important decisions based upon a written document that sometimes isn't always reflective of the child. There's been a number of schools that they've suggested to me over the time that they think are suitable for Theo, and when I've attended them they haven't been. The system needs to change. It's demoralising for parents because it does seem a little unfair that when you have a child with additional needs that you have to fight twice as hard than any other parent in order for them to just be in a setting that they can thrive in and that can support them.
The council told us it won't comment on individual cases, but that under the SEND Code of Practice, it always aims to support parents through multi-agency meetings or independent mediation before any consideration of a tribunal, and that every parent has the right to appeal. It says it's pleased the government is addressing the SEND system with reforms. For Theo and his parents, it feels like that system is failing him and leaving him with yet another vital school year in his education being disrupted. Chris Jepson, ITV News, Redcar.
And the ITV Evening News continues after us tonight at 6:30.
Coming up on the ITV Evening News, counter-terrorism police are now leading the investigation into the death of former MP Anne Widdecombe. A major incident declared in Wales as the UK faces an exceptional risk for wildfires. And remembering one of the greats, Jurassic Park actor Sam Neill dies aged 78. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Police officers from our region have been honoured for their bravery. They were among 38 teams to be invited to this year's Police Federation Bravery Awards.
The ceremony recognises the dangerous situations officers place themselves in to keep people safe. James Webster reports.
They risk their lives to keep other people safe, and everyone who's invited to this ceremony is here for a specific act of bravery. From the North East, officers were recognised from the Durham, Northumbria, North Yorkshire and Cleveland forces. PC Natasha Coleman was nominated with several colleagues after putting their own safety at risk to help a woman threatening to harm herself on a cliff top. They successfully got her to safety.
You get to a job, you don't know what's going to come in, so you're attending and you've just got to sort of think on your feet. 1 minute you could just be driving along the road and the next minute it's showing you running down this cliff. But it's nice to see that our teamwork was sort of recognised from the organisation in our supervision, that they're noticing that the jobs we're going to and the risks that we're taking when we're attending these jobs.
All of those nominated were invited to a reception at Downing Street hosted by the Home Secretary, who said today is a chance to thank them on behalf of the whole country for the danger they face and the lengths they go to keep the rest of us safe. Attending with them, one of the judges, who's heard in detail what each of them did to earn their nomination.
It's frightening what officers that are general public, just like you and I, that are in a role that protects the public, and what they have seen and do is very harrowing.
The ceremony in central London brought together more than 100 police officers from forces across England and Wales.
Everyone here has a story that starts like any other working day, but they are being recognised here tonight because during that day they put the safety of others before that of themselves.
One group of officers received special praise as the overall winner, a trio from the Met Police in London who confronted a man brandishing a sword who'd already killed a schoolboy and injured several others. PC Cameron King placed himself between the suspect and his injured colleague.
Every single person that is here tonight has done something remarkable and is a worthy winner. We've got officers out there right now, tomorrow, every single day of the week that are going out there and going way above what is normal.
A day of celebration, recognising extraordinary acts of courage which made these officers' communities a safer place. James Webster, ITV News.
Acts of bravery recognised, and congratulations to all those who were awarded and nominated. It's time for the sport now, and Chris is here. Chris, England continue their quest for World Cup glory.
They absolutely do, Amy. Yes, they now have a semi-final against Argentina and Lionel Messi to look forward to on Wednesday night. These are unprecedented times for the Three Lions. Since Euro 2016, England have reached the semi-finals in 4 out of the last 5 international tournaments. Now, they laboured to victory over Norway on Saturday night, but fans in our region say at this stage, a win's a win. Whisper it quietly, but football might be coming home. Or don't whisper it quietly. These England fans in Seaburn certainly didn't come full-time on Saturday night.
Well done, England, 2-1!
60 years of hope, never saw me dreaming. Come on!
Well, having a great time. Oh, I love Bellingham. He's my hero. And Dublin, come on!
I'm so happy, so happy. Everyone's putting the effort in to get the result, and I think everyone can see that. Everyone can see that at home, and hopefully they're having a good night. England certainly gave fans across the northeast a reason to cheer in the end, but be it the heat in Miami or the opposition, the Three Lions huffed and puffed. Norway were brighter, and it was no great shock when they scored. But in Jude Bellingham, England have a man for the biggest of occasions, and one who can stay.
Will come, and when you've got players like we do, like Jude and Harry, to score these goals that they do, it's incredible.
Extra time beckoned in a tight and tense contest.
To get to another semi-final, we're at that stage where we need to keep going. We have to go into deep waters and go in extra time and get the result.
And that they did. Just moments into extra time, Jude Bellingham answered the prayers of those watching back in Sunderland.
It's coming!
Like in Mexico, England had to battle in the dying stages. At full time, their manager was less than impressed with the performance, but even Thomas Tuchel had to admire his side's fighting spirit.
This is pure mentality. You can bottle it up and sell it. We made life very, very difficult for ourselves today. The result is fantastic. We're in the last 4. It's amazing, but not happy with the performance.
At the minute, we're finding ways to win games without really playing to a full potential, so it's frustrating but also quite exciting knowing that we're in the last 4 and we've not really played to the best of our ability yet.
England will have to move fast to improve, because come Wednesday's semi-final, they'll face arguably their biggest challenge so far at the World Cup, Argentina and Lionel Messi.
Some challenge that. Thomas Tuchel set a very high bar though, hasn't he, Chris? He said he wasn't happy with that performance. Does he have a point?
I think he possibly has a little bit of a point here. And England did look a bit tired and a bit disjointed on Saturday and relied on 2 absolute bits of brilliance from Jude Bellingham. But it was 40 degrees in Miami. That would be hard for even the most fittest athletes, to be honest. And ultimately, England are through to the World Cup semi-finals. You can't doubt their desire to keep fighting and keep going. Harry Kane said after the game the team know they can play better. You suspect Tuchel's criticism is aimed at firing the team up, and come Wednesday night perhaps there'll be a slicker performance. Sticking with England, and Lioness Beth Mead has been recognised with an honorary doctorate at Teesside University today. The player, who was brought up in North Yorkshire, studied at the university after leaving school. It's now named her an honorary Doctor of Science for her role in championing women's sport and inspiring the next generation.
A lot of young girls have got ambitions now, you know, they've got dreams to become professional footballers or professional athlete of some kind, and to know that it's been taken seriously and, you know, myself has been rewarded for my service to football, but hopefully they know that's something they can aspire to, and hopefully, in the future do as well.
Newcastle United have been left standing at the transfer altar again. The Magpies have been trying to sign Switzerland's World Cup star Johan Manzambi. Newcastle had agreed a fee with his club Freiburg to buy him and were awaiting confirmation he would move to St James's Park. But Aston Villa joined the race, and the 20-year-old is now set to join Unai Emery's side instead. In Speedway, it wasn't a good time on the road for Redcar Bears and the Berwick Bandits this weekend. The Bears were beaten heavily at Edinburgh 57-33 on Friday night. Berwick Bandits lost by a similar scoreline, 55-35 at Plymouth on Saturday. And Newcastle Red Bulls scrum half Rafi Kirk has been called into the England squad. The 24-year-old, who only signed on at Kingston Park this summer, joins up for England's Nations Championship match against Argentina this coming weekend. The match is live on ITV1 on Saturday night. That's the sport.
Chris, thank you very much. And we are going to return to football now, because as this warm summer continues, academics are suggesting that teams should adapt their training and their game plans to cope with the dry, hot conditions.
They say the extreme heat increases the risk of exhaustion or injury, particularly for children, they say, playing in the warmer weather.
Nick Smith reports on how our changing climate could impact our national game.
This summer has already been a record breaker, with soaring temperatures taking their toll on grass pitches and those who train and play on them. For this women's walking football team in Middlesbrough, coaches are keeping a watchful eye on the players to make sure they don't overheat.
Obviously you have to watch everybody's health. The younger people and the older people, they're very vulnerable when it's too cold or it's too hot. Obviously at the minute we've got high temperatures, they can get heat stroke, heat exertion. Honestly, they can just walk along and obviously get cramps in the legs and things. It really affects them badly.
In the heat, you've got to watch what you actually do as you're playing, and you've also got to drink plenty of water and have more stops.
As for some of the people that come, it's the only time that do actually get to do something, meet other people, so that affects them quite a lot if the training sessions are cancelled.
The campaign group Round Our Way works to highlight the impacts of climate change on everyday life and says it's now increasingly interrupting sport at all levels.
Climate change and extreme weather is having a massive impact on sport up and down the UK. Rainfall, and we're also seeing a lot more extreme heat now as the bouts we've just experienced. I think it kind of exposes a fundamental flaw in sports infrastructure in the UK, which it was built for a climate that no longer really exists.
Professor Mike Tipton has extensively studied the impact of extreme heat on the body whilst playing sport, insisting we need to
have the matches obviously at a time and at a location, both a daytime and also a time in the year where heat isn't a problem, because we'll soon be in a situation where it's going to be pretty high up on your risk assessment.
So early morning and evening matches, water breaks, cool-off periods, and even a hiatus of play for several weeks in the hotter months may be on the cards in future summers, as we face a changing climate which may be even trickier to predict than the outcome of a football match. Nick Smith, ITV News.
Yeah, football and other sports might have to make more changes than just hydration breaks.
Yeah, I mean, more record temperatures this summer.
See how dry the grass or lack of grass was in that report there.
Dry, hot, sunny. I mean, there is also playing in and there's also talking about it because it's all it's been. It's not just the football pitches. Have a look at this here. This is a satellite from NASA. You can see the brown land, the scorched, parched earth that's slowly been creeping its way further north into our part of the world. We are noticing that at the moment. Also, as we saw earlier, given that real risk of wildfires too. We did get some rain over the weekend. If you were lucky, we saw some heavy downpours briefly on Saturday, but even with all this thunder and lightning going on, it was just a few millimetres, all too brief. And so, yeah, much of the earth here is still scorched. Less than 20% of the rainfall. We'd expect about 5% for much of the region. You can see it pretty much matches in with that satellite from NASA, and it is set to continue as well. Here's the forecast.
Expect clear skies, island vibes, and afternoons made for exploring. TUI sponsors ITV Tyne's weather.
There is a freshness in the breeze coming in from the North Sea, but it is another settled night across the board. We're going to see that cloud increasing as we head into the early hours. But as we've seen today, it thins, it breaks, it burns its way back towards the coast through daylight hours. Warm sunny spells again developing, particularly inland, and again it is staying dry. These conditions will continue as we make our way through this week. High pressure is still very much in control. It's been with us for a good few days now, and as it's moved around, we've introduced those winds from the North Sea. We benefited from the fresher fields of things, though temperatures still reaching up into the mid-20s, very warm in that sunshine, and again this is going to continue through this week. So for now, through this evening and overnight, as we lose the sunshine, the cloud is starting to work its way inland. The breeze is coming in from the North Sea. There's a little bit of murkiness in those more prone spots, as well as temperatures generally hold up around 10-11 degrees. That's built up areas. So actually, in those more sheltered rural spots, temperatures could be dipping down into the single digits. They're not quite as muggy as we make our way into Tuesday morning. Tuesday, same setup as today. We've got the winds coming in from the North Sea. Cloud amounts will vary through the morning, burning their way back towards the coast, and it's inland we're seeing those top temperatures. So we're talking highs of around 24, maybe 25 degrees. Out towards coastal areas, 17, 18, but in the sunshine, feeling rather pleasant. Through Tuesday and into Wednesday, so it's staying the same. High pressure's nearby. Again, the cloud is feeding in as we make our way overnight. You can see right over the Tyne region, there's a bit of murkiness over higher ground, but then during the day, again, it starts to burn its way back. But it does mean for us those temperatures are feeling a little bit more manageable. Over the next few days, we're talking highs around 22 or 23 degrees with plenty of sunshine.
TUI sponsors ITV Tyne's weather.
Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors ITV pollen count.
So there is, of course, still a lot of grass and weed pollen in the air at the moment, with plenty of fine weather to come. We are generally looking at high levels of pollen, dropping down to moderate where we see any cloud, any fresher breezes coming in from the east.
Thank you, Ross. In just a moment, the national and the international news.
I'll be here with the next update at around about 10:30. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.